Director of Exhibitions at Timothy Taylor Gallery, which is a commercial gallery in London's Mayfair in the West End. How I research people's work and go out looking for artists that I might want to work with or include in exhibitions. There is no substitute for seeing as many shows as you possibly can. I always try to sort of have an open mind, really, and you know, depending on what city I'm in, sort of go for, you know, really grungy artist-run spaces as well as really high-end things or museums, and just, you know, just try and see everything, really. I first saw my Tu's work. She had a show in London at Chisenhale Gallery with another artist from Switzerland about 3 or 4 years ago, and I saw that show and I found it intriguing, and I just sort of kept an eye on how the work was developing, and then I saw a solo show that she had in Switzerland a year ago, which was really impressive, and so then I was quite determined to invite her to do an exhibition. When I was graduating, if you were thinking of a career of this kind, you would feel it meant working in a museum, and working in a museum meant cataloguing things. And then I remember this friend of mine who was already working as a curator made a very casual but very profound remark to me at the time, which was how fascinating it was to actually work with living artists. And you know, because when you're studying art history, you spend all your time thinking, what was Caravaggio's motivation? If only I could speak to Rubens now and interview him, it would be so great. And then suddenly to think, oh, actually, hang on a minute, there were a whole this bunch of people who are artists now. Frieze is a real phenomenon, shall we say. I mean, it just reflects so much the internationalisation of London as a centre. It's so great when you know that people are coming to town, especially, not just collectors, but also curators and critics. It's just such a brilliant kind of melting pot, if you like, for all of these different interested parties. It does have the feeling of a kind of festival, if you like, because you just, you know, everybody is so caught up in the excitement and the buzz of it. Overall, as a gallery, it's absolutely key. I mean, it's really something that we focus on all year, about how we're going to present ourselves. I'm looking for a sort of level of ambition and seriousness and depth, if you like. Ideally something that has many layers to it. I'm looking for something that makes me think or laugh or cry or whatever, and if it does that, then I'm hoping it's going to have the same reaction on other people. It would be very boring if we all thought and thought the same or liked the same things. You know, I have quite eclectic tastes, I must say, compared to a lot of people, and I enjoy that as something that I, you know, want to sort of hang on to, really. I mean, looking back now, I realise that I was always interested in images and objects, and I realise now that, I mean, because in a way you sort of make sense of all the things that you were drawn to as a child. So I used to be a very keen museum visitor as a child, and I used to be a very keen visitor of stately homes. And I remember at school people asking you what you wanted to do, and I would say the only thing that I could say was that I wanted to be an antique dealer.